we look at the journeys of the Apostle Paul in Acts chapter 13 through 21, we see he's entered many new places and he's exited places. So let's look at one particular exit, and that is, what did exit look like in Thessalonica? So we read in Acts 17 that Paul and Silas and Timothy went to Thessalonica. They focused on the resurrection of Jesus for 3 weeks. They saw a response from men and women of Jews and God-fearing Greeks and pagans. And then they encountered persecution and they departed. From Thessalonica, they went to Berea. There again, they experienced persecution. So Paul left Silas and Timothy there at Berea, and Paul went to Athens. But he left his key disciples, Silas and Timothy, to continue the work, to follow up and build and strengthen the believers at Thessalonica. And Paul was in Athens, and he was earnestly praying day and night that he could return to Thessalonica and continue the work there. But Paul was able to write a letter from Athens, and then later on, after 1 year at Corinth, write a second letter to the Thessalonians also. Paul was able to pour into Aristarchus, a key leader of Thessalonica. He poured into him in Ephesus, and he took him on his ministry travels. A few years after his initial visit to Thessalonica, Paul was able to return. He returned on his way to Greece, and then he returned again on his way to Jerusalem. Toward the end of his third journey, he was pouring into Secundus and Aristarchus, and these were key leaders from Thessalonica. Aristarchus accompanied Paul to Jerusalem. He was in prison with Paul in Rome, may have been with him till his last and dying breath. So when we look at Paul's ministry in Thessalonica, his exit of Thessalonica, it puts exit in perspective, that it's not just to leave and forget. It's leaving to go to new places, but they're in his heart and prayer for his entire life, and that's part of a healthy exit. This keeps exit in proper perspective for our own ministries, because we'll be entering new places. By definition, we're leaving our older places of ministry, but those places and those believers and those disciples will always be in our hearts and always be in our prayers.